What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Hope all you're having a great day so far. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend. I'm like semi pissed off right now because I just recorded a minute ago, like a good 10 minutes of this review video, and I ran into a freaking technical difficulty which corrupted the fucking video. And now I have to re record this. You know how annoying that is to like get like half this video done and then you run into a technical problem and boom, it's all wiped out and you gotta redo it. I'm like, oh my lord. Okay, so take two. So anyway, getting into this episode, I love the conversation between Dante and Sunny because you know what? Dante be giving Sunny the real, and I freaking love it. I love every second of it because Sunny needs to hear it. At the end of the day, him and Michael need to grow up, and I agree with Dante on that. They both are acting childish, and I feel like if they don't nip this thing in the bud and find some type of common ground, it's gonna escalate to something that they can't come back from. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I don't think either deep down, I don't think either one of them really want that because I just feel like Sonny and Michael are both in this tit for tat game. You know what I'm saying? Michael does something, Sonny reacts to it. Sonny does something, Michael reacts to it. It's very tit for tat, and it's like grow the freak up. Y'all are acting so much like y'all shoe size instead of your age. Grow up. Damn. Like, don't get me wrong, they're both entitled to feel how they feel, but it's like, damn. Like, is it really worth all this? All this beef? Like, can't we all just get along? Like, I'm just saying, like, damn. My goodness. I know Dante got to be exhausted because he done had quite a few conversations with Michael. He done had quite a few conversations with Sonny. Drew done talked to Sonny. Drew done talked to Michael. Like, oh my goodness. And they're still doing this back and forth. I would be exhausted if I was Dante right now. I know this got to be hard on him too because like you're stuck in the middle. You got your brother over here, your daddy over here, and they just not cooperating with each other. And they're not cooperating with you because you're trying to be the peacekeeper. I would be very annoyed if I was Dante. I really would. I would be annoyed with both of them. I would sit them in a room, lock their asses in there, and just say, listen, y'all gonna figure this out or y'all not getting out. It's that simple. Because I would be over the foolishness. Um, Sonny just sitting over there doing like this, making that sunny face, pouting. Sonny, Sonny is making a big mistake by testifying on Nina's behalf. And I say that because it's just escalating this issue with Michael. That's all it's doing. All you're doing is throwing another log on the fire. That's all that is. That's why I said before, I feel like Sonny needs to stay out of this and he needs to be Switzerland. He needs to be neutral. He needs to just mind his business and stay at home and wait for the results. Like just don't interfere in this thing. Like you're not gonna win. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna lose no matter what you do or who you choose to back. It's like in some form or fashion you're not gonna win. So it's like stay out of it. You know what I mean? Like you're just making matters worse at this point. Um. So anyway, moving on from that. I listen. Ned is still in his feelings about this merger, and honestly, I can't blame him. Drew. I just feel like sometimes Drew tried to talk down to him. Like, dude, Ned has decades of business experience. It doesn't matter that he doesn't have media experience. He has a lot of good business experience that can help with the media stuff. You know what I'm saying? When Drew and Sam bought Aurora, neither one of them knew what the hell they were doing. You know what I'm saying? It's just something that you got to learn. When Michael became CEO, Michael didn't really know what the hell he was doing. He was never CEO prior to that. He didn't have experience. But you know what? He made the company more profitable during his tenure. So it's like, calm down. But I love that conversation that Ned had with him. Ned was like, "Listen, I gotta go to work since I'm the only quartermain that actually works at ELQ." I love that line because it was so true. I said, "You know what, Ned? Teach the children. That's what you do. Teach them." He's showing they ass like, "Listen, I still got this." You know what I'm saying? Like Drew doesn't even technically have a position with the company. You're just a shareholder. Michael no longer works for the company. You work at Aurora. So it's like, who the hell are y'all to be sitting here making all these final decisions about what we gonna do with the company? And they don't even have a real plan about how this merger is actually gonna work, how it's gonna be profitable. They don't have a real plan to this. That's why I think it's going to be a flop. If it does go through, it's going to be a flop. It's like, what's your plan? Like, the only plan I heard so far about this merger is it's supposed to devalue um Valentine's shares. It's supposed to dilute his share power, and that's it. Get him out of the CEO chair. That's the only plan I heard. I didn't hear of any logistics of how this thing is supposed to be profitable, because in real life mergers have failed. So it's like, do you really want to risk it? You can lose it all with this merger. I'm just saying, you might want to use that noodle, use that noggin there, get it together. Um. So anyway, moving on from that, I totally get where BLQ coming from. I mean, what Drew said was true too. I mean, she could just let this whole thing go and write new songs, which is true. But I feel like that's a cop out. That's an easy way out. I totally understand where BLQ is coming from. Like, the original songs that she wrote, those are like her babies. You know, it's like, yeah, I'm not giving that up. You know, especially not being compensated for it, even though legally she would have to be compensated as a songwriter. But it's like she had a vision for that song. She don't want no trash artist messing with her vision, because when Link sent her that link, no pun intended, via email, the person that was singing that song, they were trash. So I totally understand where she's coming from. Like, no, get your songs back. The hell with Link. And I'm glad she's gonna, unite with Chase, and they're gonna figure out a way to get rid of Link, and get ownership of her songs back. Like, she should definitely get her songs back. Hopefully she can neutralize Link for good this time, so that way she don't have to worry about him in the future coming back messing up stuff. Um, so anyway, moving on from that, Michael, of course, was not happy to overhear Nina and Maxie talking when he overheard that Sunny was supposed to testify or offered to testify on her behalf. Michael was pissed. Michael was super pissed. And my whole thing with Michael is, are you really expecting loyalty from somebody that you're trying to destroy? Like, why are you so angry that Sonny's going to testify for? You rejected him. You basically set out to destroy him, so you expect him to have loyalty towards you? No. I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, I don't agree with Sonny testifying for her, because I feel like Sonny should stay out of it altogether. I mean, if you're going to go to the court, at least go to the court and sit in the stands or something, you know what I mean? Or not go at all. But I definitely wouldn't be testifying. Absolutely not. Michael pissed me off, though. I'm not even going to lie. When he sat there, Maxie was trying to be a peacekeeper. She was hoping that they could come to some type of compromise on this thing. And Michael tried to go for the jugular with Maxie. He was like, oh, would you be saying the same thing had Felicia not killed Peter? Bitch, what? I was like, oh, hell no. Mm-mm-mm. He didn't have to go there. He did. He did not have to go there. That was uncalled for. Like, my whole thing was, Michael did not have to throw Peter August in her face. I'm just saying, because the two are not even close to being the same. Peter was a psychopathic killer. He was a murderer. You know what I'm saying? Nina hasn't killed anybody. I don't think she has. But anyway, she's not on Peter's level. You can't compare Nina to Peter. Like, yeah, Nina has done some foul stuff, but not really comparable to Peter. That man was just straight up demented. Nina's just delusional. Um, but I'm glad, Maxie was putting him in check about that. Like, yeah, don't bring that up, and that's not the same thing. But Maxie had a point too with Nina. She let her know, like, listen, don't engage with them. And I agree, because you are making it worse by engaging with them. But as much as I don't really care for Nina that much, I will say what I like is that she's not their whipping dog. She's not their punching bag. When Michael came up to her and Willow tried to come up to her talking stuff, she didn't back down from them. And I love that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she knows she's done foul things. She's apologized for them. Does that mean they have to accept her apology? No. They don't have to. They can continue to hate her all they want to. That's their business. Nobody's saying that they don't have a right to be upset with her, but at the end of the day, I feel like they get even more mad when she pushes back against them and she shows that she ain't no punk. And I do respect that about Nina. She's definitely not anybody's punk, and I like that. Um, it's like at the end of the day, Michael and Willow have done everything to discredit her. They put that article out about her to try to sway the judge, sway public opinion, and Nina's fighting back. You know what I'm saying? I can respect that. Um, they could sit there and say, well, Nell's not his mother, da 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 da. You can say whatever you want to say. At the end of the day, biologically, yes, that was his mom, and Nina's his grandmother. Even though they don't know Willow's, technically Nina's daughter too. They don't know that yet, but still, it's like she has every right to, at least file a claim to see him. You know, like I said before, does that mean she deserves full access? Not right now, no. Like I said a million times, supervised visits, I would start out with that. But nobody really was trying to compromise with each other in this case, and that's why they're in court now. And I say at this point, if I was Nina, I wouldn't engage with them. I would just sit back, wait for the judge to come and argue my stuff in front of the judge, and wait for the judge's decision. That's what I would do. I wouldn't engage with them at this point. For what? You know what I'm saying? For what? I would not even sit there and engage at all, because that's what they want. That's just playing into their game. That's what they like, drama. Now, if I was Nina, I wouldn't even do it. Don't get me wrong. I get where Michael coming from. He feel like Nina is a straight up liar and stuff like that. I get it. He feel like he trying to protect his child. But I do feel like a lot of this is about revenge on her, like doing whatever he can to get back at her. I do feel like he loves his son, but at the same time, it's revenge motivated. So anyway, moving on from that, Carly was trying to get herself a little private little yoga session, and then of course Brad and Britt pop up. Um, Carly wasn't happy to see him, as she shouldn't be, but she wasn't. Um, I do have to say a lot of what Brad was saying was true. I felt like he had a valid point in what he was saying about the whole AJ Michael situation. You know what I'm saying? He was like, do you really want Wiley years down the road to be in that same situation Michael was in between Sunny and AJ? Because that's what could happen. And Britt backed him up on that. She was like, it is true. It could happen. And it could. It could. Maybe not to that level, but it can get to that point if they continue on this path that they're all continuing on. I mean, it's too late to call off the hearing now because everything is pretty much almost in session. The judge is pretty much coming, so it's like it's a little too late to dismiss everything now. But Brad brought up a good point. It's like, do you really want to, do this? Like, you really want Michael to go to court, stop Nina from being a part of this boy's life, and then he ends up growing up being upset that he never got to know his grandmother. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, are they really going to tell that boy the truth when he get older and not just some serialized version? Because that's exactly what Carly and Sunny tried to do with Michael when AJ came back. They didn't give him the full scope of everything. They tried to whitewash a little bit of it to make themselves look better than AJ. They definitely did. You know what I'm saying? So I would hate for them to try to do that with Nina. Like, I would tell him the whole truth about Nina. I mean, when he gets older, he can read about his mother, his biological mother and Nina. He can read about it. It's all over the Invader and stuff like that. The article is out, so he can read it. But I would hope that Carly, Michael, all of them would tell him not only their dirt, about Nina and Nell, but also reveal some of their, missteps as well in life. Because Lord knows Michael's hands are not clean. Sonny's hands are obviously not clean. Carly's hands are not clean. So if you're going to sit there and, throw stones at Nina, y'all guys, throw them at yourselves too. Because y'all all did dirt just as much as she done dirt. Probably worse. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, don't sit there and tell that boy one side of the story when he get grown and not the other side. I'm just saying, fair is fair. But you know how they do. They definitely would, lessen what they've done to make themselves look better. So that way they could paint her as the villain. I could see them doing that down the road. Definitely. And I totally get where Brad was coming from. You really want to do that? He had a valid point. And Carly sitting there telling Britt, oh, get better friends. Carly just can't stand when somebody tell her the truth. She just don't like to hear it. It's like, get over yourself. Too bad. when she went to the court hearing, she actually got the daggone test results. She got a text that the test results was ready. She could pick them up anytime. So I wonder what she gonna do with them results. Like I really do. Maybe it hinges on what the judge decide or whatever. I don't know, but hopefully she does the smart thing with them test results. But then again, you know Carly, she lived for some drama, so I'm sure she probably gonna keep it to herself. More than likely. Um, but I do like Britt and Brad's friendship. I don't really care for Brad that much at the moment. But he seems to be liking working for his aunt. You know, he surprisingly likes the jobs that she be having him do and stuff like that. I'm shocked. Maybe this is gonna toughen him up more. Maybe he gonna be all, you know, hardcore and be ready to start blah blah blah. You never know. You know, that mob life it's enticing. I'm just saying, you know, it has its perks. So anyway, moving on from that, TJ done found Marshall's antipsychotic meds. Um, and he had showed him to Curtis and stuff like that. And Curtis was trying to figure out like what was his father taking these for. And I mean, I agree with TJ. There are quite a few different reasons he could have been taking those because they got different, you know, they can be used for various of reasons. But I'm surprised that they didn't tell his physician at the hospital or the nurse at the hospital like about those medications because they would need to know like what kind of meds he's on and stuff like that, you know, so they can treat him and whatnot. I'm ready for this whole Marshall mess to be over with. I'm ready for that man to start talking. Like, give Curtis the full scope of what happened 40 plus years ago. Like, let's get this over with because they've been building this up for quite some time, and I'm ready for him to start talking. Like, tell what you know and stop dragging this out. Um, so Marshall ended up waking up after Curtis, you know, kept pleading for him to open his eyes. So he opened his eyes. Um, you know, he looked like he was frightened and stuff like that. And, you know, Curtis had to like calm him down and let him know, like, listen, I'm your son, relax, I'm here. I'm ready for Marshall when he gets his, you know, faculties together and stuff like that. I'm ready for him to just start talking. Like, we need to know, like, everything that happened back in the day when he left. Like, everything. Like, the full blow by blow detail. Like, what the hell happened back then? So, anyway, moving on from that, they're running a battery of tests on Liz to try to figure out what's physically going on with her, like what's causing these, you know, sleepwalking stints and stuff like that. Because Kevin was like, people who sleepwalk can do extraordinary things, like drive a car while they sleep, all type of stuff, have full blown conversations, all while they're actually asleep. Um, so they're trying to figure out if it's the sleep medications that she's been taking, because she's been taking them practically for like a year now, especially when she worked like long night shifts and stuff like that. She's been taking them. So she's wondering if the sleep meds could be messing her up and stuff. And you know, Terry was gonna run tests on the meds and stuff and see if that could be a part of it. But Kevin, of course, thinks that it's a deeper issue than that. Kevin definitely feels like it's a much deep rooted issue than just sleep meds as to why she's doing this. Because Finn was under the impression that now that she knows that she's sleepwalking, would that deter her from doing it? And my thing was hell no. Before Kevin could even say something, my thought was hell no. It don't deter nothing. Y'all just know what y'all dealing with now, but she can still do it. And Kevin said it too. He was like, yeah, she can still sleepwalk. It's still a high chance of that happening. So once Liz found that out, you know, Liz was like, yeah, I need to protect my family. So my guess is she probably gonna check herself in somewhere, maybe a inpatient program or something like that, because she was really scared because she realized that she could have stabbed her own son with those scissors. And plus she already done knocked Chase over the head, so she was afraid of what she could do to somebody. She really feels like now she may be a danger to society at this point, and she has no control over it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we saw how she was when she was in that trance. Even her own son talking to her couldn't snap her out of it. You know what I'm saying? And she very easily could have just said, you know, and stabbed him. You know, so I definitely understand why she's worried, as she should be. You know, because maybe next time somebody might not make it out. Um, so I totally get where Liz is coming from. You know, she got to take drastic measures to protect her family. I can't fault her for that. You know, of course, Chase wasn't upset with her for, you know, hitting him over the head because he know that it wasn't really her doing it. She wasn't in, her right frame of mind when that happened. So, you know, of course he's not gonna blame her for it. But she's definitely gonna need some help. Like she's definitely gonna have to do what she gotta do until they can figure out like what's the cause of this. She's gonna need some deep therapy to figure out the root of all this mess. Um but anyway, this was a pretty solid episode. Hit the comment section, let me know what you all thought about it, and I'll see you all later. Have a great day. Peace.